You need to stop for a moment. Just stop. Not because the world is quiet, not because you're found a peaceful place to sit, but because something inside you shifted the moment you saw this. You didn't click on this video. You were led here. And the fact that you are still reading, still listening, still breathing through these words, that is not a small thing. That is everything. I need you to understand something right now, and I need you to let it settle deep into your chest before you go any further. You were meant to hear this today, at this exact moment in your life. Not yesterday, when you might have been too distracted to listen. Not tomorrow, when it might have been too late for it to take root. Now, do not dismiss this as coincidence. There is no such thing. Not with you, not anymore. For a long time, you have carried questions that had no answers. You have looked back at certain moments, certain doors that closed, certain people who walked away, certain prayers that seemed to hit the ceiling and fall back down. And you have wondered why. You have replayed conversations in your mind. You have second-guessed decisions. You have asked me, sometimes in anger, sometimes in exhaustion, why didn't you stop that? Why didn't you speak sooner? Why did you let me go through that alone? But here is the truth you could not see then. You were never alone, and I was not silent, waiting for this moment, waiting for you to arrive here, at this precise intersection of time and eternity, where your heart is finally open enough to receive what I am about to tell you. Not because you were stubborn before, not because you didn't try, but because some truths cannot be heard until the soul is ready to bear them. And you are ready now, even if you don't feel ready, even if your hands are still shaking from the weight of everything you've been through. You are ready because I brought you here. There are things that have been hidden from you, not as punishment, not as a test, but because they had to remain hidden until the right moment. Like a seed buried deep in the soil, waiting for the right season to break through. You could not see the growth happening underneath. You could not feel the roots spreading in the dark, but I could. I have been tending to you in ways you cannot comprehend. You have asked for clarity. You have begged for answers. And now I am going to give them to you, but not in the way you expect. Not with thunder and lightning, not with a voice that shakes the mountains. I am speaking to you now in the quiet, in the stillness, in the words that are landing softly in your mind even as you read them. Because this is how I speak to those who are truly mine, in the spaces between thoughts, in the ache that you cannot name, in the tears that come without warning. Something has been building in your life, a pressure, a tension, a feeling that everything is about to change. You have felt it in your bones, even when your mind tried to reason it away. You have sensed that the ground beneath you is shifting, even when nothing in your circumstances look different. That feeling, that knowing, it was not anxiety, it was not imagination. I have been preparing you for this moment for longer than you realize. Every setback was a setup. Every heartbreak was a lesson in disguise. Every closed door was a redirection. And every silent night when you cried out and heard nothing in return, I was there. I was listening. I was gathering every tear in a bottle, writing every cry in my book, and I was waiting for the day when you would be strong enough to hear what I have been wanting to say. You are stronger now. You may not feel strong. You may feel fragile, worn down, barely holding on. But strength is not the absence of weakness. Strength is the ability to carry the weight without breaking. And you have carried so much, more than anyone knows, more than you have ever admitted to yourself. But I know. I have seen every silent battle. I have counted every sleepless night. I have felt every time your heart cracked just a little bit more. And I did not waste any of it. None of your pain has been for nothing. None of your waiting has been in vain. The delays, the disappointments, the moments when you thought you couldn't take another step, they were all part of the path. A path that was always leading you here, to this moment, to this message. You have been asking for a sign. You have been looking for confirmation that I am real, that I hear you, that I care. And now, in a way you cannot deny, I am giving it to you. Not because you earned it, not because you finally got it right, but because I love you, because I have always loved you, and because the time has come for you to know the truth about what has been happening, the truth about why certain things had to happen the way they did, the truth about the people who came into your life and the ones who left, the truth about the prayers that seemed unanswered. I am going to speak to you now over the course of this message in a way that will unsettle you and comfort you at the same time. I am going to show you things you could not see before. I am going to peel back the layers of confusion and let you see the pattern that has been weaving itself together since the beginning. But first, you must breathe. You must let yourself be still. You must resist the urge to scroll away, to distract yourself, to tell yourself that this is just another video, just another message, just another moment that will pass. This is not just another anything. This is a divine appointment, and you showed up. Do not underestimate what is happening right now. In the spiritual realm, there is a shift taking place. Chains are breaking, veils are lifting, and you are being given access to understanding that has been sealed until now. I am not angry with you. I have never been angry with you. I have been patient. I have been tender. I have been working behind the scenes in ways you cannot fathom, arranging circumstances, positioning people, aligning events, all for this moment, all for you. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone, and you are not alone. I am here. I have always been here, and now, finally, you are ready to hear what I have to say. So stay with me. Do not turn away, because what I am about to tell you will change everything. I need you to understand something about the silence you have experienced. The long stretches of time when you cried out and heard nothing in return. The moments when you begged for direction, for relief, for just a glimpse of what was coming, and felt only emptiness. That silence was not abandonment. Think of it like this. When a builder is constructing a foundation, there is a period of time when nothing seems to be happening above ground. The hole is dug, The forms are set, the concrete is poured. But to the casual observer, it looks like nothing has changed. It looks like the builder has stopped working. It looks like the project has been abandoned. But beneath the surface, the concrete is curing. It is hardening. It is becoming strong enough to hold the weight of everything that will eventually be built upon it. If the builder rushed, if he built before the foundation was ready, the entire structure would collapse under its own weight. I have been building beneath the surface of your life for longer than you know, and every moment of silence was the concrete curing. You could not see it. You could not feel it. But I was there. I was holding the forms in place. I was ensuring that the foundation would hold, and I was waiting for the exact moment when it would be safe to build upward again. That moment is now. But before we move forward, I need to take you back. Back to the moments you have questioned. Back to the prayers that seem to go unanswered. Back to the doors that closed in your face. Because you have carried those moments like wounds that never fully healed. You have replayed them in your mind, wondering what you did wrong, wondering if you missed something, wondering if I was even listening at all. I was listening. I heard every whispered prayer in the dark. I saw every tear you tried to hide. I felt every disappointment settle into your bones like lead. And I did not ignore you. I was not indifferent. You cannot see the pattern when you are inside the loom. You can only feel the tension of the threads pulling in different directions. You can only sense the pressure of the shuttle moving back and forth. You can only experience the discomfort of being stretched and pulled and held in place by forces you cannot control. But the weaver sees the pattern. The weaver knows what the finished tapestry will look like long before the threads begin to align. And I have been weaving something beautiful with the broken threads of your life. Those people who left, they were threads that had to be cut. Not because they were bad, not because they didn't matter, but because they were woven into a different tapestry, and keeping them in yours would have created knots that could never be undone. The pain of their leaving was real. The grief was real. Those opportunities that fell through, they were threads that would have led you away from the pattern I was creating. You couldn't see the danger because you are focused on the promise. You couldn't understand why the door was closing because all you could see was the light on the other side. But I could see what was beyond that light. I could see the emptiness waiting for you. I could see the dead end that looked like a highway, and I loved you too much to let you walk into it. Those prayers that seemed unanswered, they were threads that needed more time to be spun. The answer was coming. The provision was on its way. The healing was working its way through your bones. But you wanted it instantly, and I wanted it completely. I wanted to give you more than relief. I wanted to give you transformation. And transformation cannot be rushed. You have been asking me why certain things happened the way they did. You have been looking for explanations, for reasons, for some kind of logic that would make the pain make sense. And I have been waiting for this moment to tell you. The pain made sense all along. You just couldn't see the sense from where you were standing. Think of a tapestry from the back. All you can see are loose threads, tangled knots, colors that seem to go nowhere. It looks like chaos. It looks like mistakes. It looks like someone dropped the threads and never picked them back up. But when you turn the tapestry over, when you finally see it from the front, every thread is exactly where it needs to be. Every color serves a purpose. Every knot holds something in place. The chaos becomes order. The mistakes become design. The loose threads become part of the masterpiece. You have been living on the back of the tapestry. You have been staring at the knots and the tangles, wondering why everything looks so messy, why nothing seems to fit, why the colors clash instead of harmonize. But I have been working on the front. I have been weaving every thread into place. And now, finally, I am beginning to turn the tapestry around. You are about to see things differently. You are about to understand moments that have haunted you for years. You are about to make peace with questions that have kept you awake at night. Not because I will explain everything all at once, but because the pattern is becoming visible, because the threads are starting to align, because the picture is emerging from the chaos. And when you see it, when you truly see what I have been doing, you will not regret a single moment of the waiting. You will not resent a single closed door. You will not wish away a single sleepless night, because you will understand that every step was necessary. Every delay was protection. Every silence was preparation. You have carried shame about some of your past, shame about choices you made, shame about things that were done to you, shame about seasons when you lost your way, when you doubted me, when you convinced yourself that you are alone and unloved and unseen. I want you to let go of that shame now, not because those moments didn't happen, not because they didn't matter, but because I have already woven them into the tapestry. I have already taken the ugliest threads and used them to create something beautiful. The very things you are most ashamed of, the very moments you wish you could erase, I have transformed them into essential parts of your story. The enemy wanted to use those moments to destroy you. He wanted the shame to become a prison. He wanted the guilt to become a chain. He wanted you to believe that your past disqualified you from ever being used by me. But I am not the God of disqualification. I am the God of redemption. I do not throw away broken threads. I do not discard tangled yarn. I pick up every piece. I unravel every knot. I reweave every mistake into the pattern I intended from the beginning. You are not defined by what you did. You are not defined by what was done to you. You are defined by what I am doing in you right now, in this moment, as you sit here and receive these words. And what I am doing is bigger than you can imagine. I am rebuilding. I am restoring. I am repurposing every pain, every loss, every disappointment, and every failure. I am turning them into testimony. I am turning them into strength. I am turning them into the very things that will help others find their way. You asked me why you had to go through certain things. The answer, in part, is this: because someone else is going to need to see someone who survived what they are facing. Someone else is going to need to hear from someone who walked through the fire and came out not just alive, but refined. Someone else is going to need your story to believe that there is hope for theirs. You are not just being healed for yourself. You are being prepared to be proof. Proof that I am real. Proof that I restore. Proof that nothing is wasted when it is given to me. So stop looking at the knots. Stop obsessing over the tangled threads. Stop asking why the back of the tapestry looks so messy. The back was never meant to be the finished product. The back was always just the process. The front is coming. The beauty is emerging, and you are about to see it with your own eyes. You have been waiting for something to change. I know this because I placed that restlessness inside you. That ache for more. That sense that there has to be something beyond what you are currently experiencing. That did not come from the world. The world teaches you to settle. The world tells you to lower your expectations, to accept disappointment as normal, to stop hoping for too much, because hope only leads to hurt. But you could never fully settle, could you? No matter how hard you tried to convince yourself that this was just how life is, something inside you kept whispering, there has to be more. That whisper was me. I have been keeping your heart alive when everything around you tried to kill it. I have been preserving your hope when circumstances screamed at you to give up. I have been fanning the flames of your desire for something greater, even when you didn't understand why the desire wouldn't die. And now, I need to tell you something about the waiting. Something that will shift everything. The waiting is over. Not in the way you think. Not with a sudden rush of everything you've been asking for all at once. But the season of waiting, the long, barren, confusing season where nothing made sense and nothing moved and nothing changed. That season is ending. Right now, as you read these words, can you feel it? That subtle shift in the atmosphere around you? That sense that something is different, even though nothing in your physical circumstances has changed yet? That is the turning of the tide. That is the breaking of the stillness. That is the sound of the lock clicking open on doors that have been sealed for years. You have been in a holding pattern, a place of preparation, of pruning, of being stripped back so that new growth could emerge. And it has been uncomfortable. It has been painful. It has felt at times like you were being buried rather than planted. But burial and planting look exactly the same from above ground. The only difference is what happens next. And what happens next for you is life. Not a life without challenges, not a life without tests, but a life where things begin to move again, where doors begin to open, where answers begin to come, where the fog lifts and you can finally see the path beneath your feet. I have been clearing that path for longer than you realize. I have been removing obstacles you couldn't see. I have been softening hearts you didn't know needed to be softened. I have been aligning circumstances, positioning people, and preparing opportunities that will soon be visible to you. But there is something you must understand before the movement begins. Something crucial. Something that will determine whether you walk through the doors I am opening or stand outside them, paralyzed by the very thing you've been praying for. You have become accustomed to the waiting. You have learned to survive in the stillness. And survival, while necessary, can become a trap. You can get so good at enduring that you forget how to receive. You can become so comfortable with lack that abundance feels threatening. You can build walls around your heart to protect it from more disappointment, only to discover that those same walls are now keeping out the very blessings I am sending. I need you to examine your heart right now, honestly, deeply. Are there places where you have stopped believing that things can actually change? Are there corners of your soul where you have made peace with disappointment, accepted defeat as permanent, and stopped hoping for more? If so, I am not angry with you. I understand why those walls went up. I watched as blow after blow landed against your faith. I saw the moments when hope felt like a cruel joke. I know why you retreated, why you stopped asking, why you started preparing for the worst instead of believing for the best. But those walls must come down now, not because I am demanding it, not because you have to earn what I am about to do, but because the walls that protected you in one season will suffocate you in the next. The defenses that kept you safe during the battle will keep you trapped after the victory. I am about to move in ways you have not seen before, ways that will require you to trust me beyond your own understanding, ways that will challenge every fear you have carried, every doubt you have nursed, every lie you have believed about yourself and about me. Not because you deserve it, not because you finally got it right, but because I am a God who loves to give good gifts to his children. Because I have been storing up blessings for you, holding them back not to punish you, but to protect you until the timing was right. Because the season of withholding is over, and the season of release has begun. Think of a farmer who has spent months preparing the soil, planting the seeds, watering, weeding, and waiting. When harvest time comes, he does not stand in the field and tell the crops they don't deserve to be picked. He does not hesitate, wondering if the plants have earned their fruit. He simply reaches out and gathers what has been growing. You are my field. I have invested everything in you. I have poured out my love, my patience, my mercy, and my grace. I have protected you from pests that would have devoured you. I have pulled weeds that would have choked you. I have sent rain and sun in perfect measure, even when you couldn't see what I was doing. And now, harvest time has come. But here is the part that may be hard for you to accept. You cannot control how the harvest comes. You cannot dictate the timing, the method, or the form it takes. You can only open your hands and receive what I bring. For years, you have been gripping tightly, holding on to plans, expectations, timelines, and outcomes. You have tried to force doors open. You have tried to make things happen in your own strength. You have grown frustrated when things didn't unfold the way you envisioned. And some of that frustration came from a pure place, a desire to see prayers answered, to see breakthrough come, to see your life move forward. But some of it came from a place I need to address now. Some of it came from a lack of trust. Not in whether I could do it, you believed I could, but in whether I would do it for you. In whether I actually wanted good things for your life. In whether I was truly on your side. That doubt has been like a rock in the soil of your heart. It has prevented roots from going deep. It has made you hesitant to fully invest in what I am doing. because part of you has always been waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for disappointment to come, waiting for proof that you were right to be cautious. But I am asking you now, will you let go of that rock? Will you trust that I am good? Will you believe that I have good planned for you, not harm, a future and a hope? This is not naive optimism. This is not blind positivity. This is faith rooted in the character of the one who has never failed you, even when it felt like he had. I have been faithful in every silence. I have been present in every absence. I have been working in every delay. And now I am asking you to trust me with the harvest. The doors that are about to open, some of them will look nothing like what you expected. The blessings that are coming, some of them will come in unexpected packages. The answers that are arriving, some of them will require you to reinterpret the question, but they will be good. They will be right. They will be exactly what you need, even if they are not exactly what you asked for. So prepare your heart, loosen your grip, open your hands, and get ready to receive. The waiting is over. The harvest is here. There is something I need to tell you that may be difficult to hear. It is about the people who have walked away from you, the ones who left without explanation, the ones who stayed but became strangers, the ones you loved and lost, whether through conflict, distance, or the slow erosion of time. You have carried them with you, even the ones you say you've forgiven. Even the ones you claim no longer matter, they are still there, lodged in places of your heart that you don't visit often, but that ache when something brushes against them. I need to tell you the truth about those departures. Not all of them were losses. Some of them were rescues. You have looked at empty chairs and grieved. You have replayed conversations and wondered what you could have done differently. You have carried guilt for words spoken in anger, for silences that stretched too long, for moments when you could have reached out and didn't. But what if I told you that some of those people had to leave so that you could live? Not because they were bad people, not because the love wasn't real, but because the connection between you had become a chain rather than a bridge. Because the relationship was draining what I was trying to fill. Because their presence in your life was keeping you from becoming who I created you to be. You couldn't see it then. You were too close, too invested, too desperate to hold on. But I could see that staying together would mean both of you sinking. I could see that the attachment had become unhealthy, even if it felt like love. I could see that the very thing you were clinging to was the thing that was slowly suffocating you. So I allowed the separation, not because I enjoy watching you hurt, not because I am cruel or distant or indifferent to your pain, but because sometimes the only way to save someone is to let them go. Sometimes the only way to preserve what was once beautiful is to allow it to end before it becomes ugly. Sometimes the only way to protect your heart is to remove the person who, intentionally or not, was breaking it. You have asked me why I didn't intervene sooner, why I let you invest so much time, so much emotion, so much of yourself into people who would eventually leave. And the answer is this: because what you learned from them was necessary. Because the love you gave was not wasted, even if it was not returned the way you hoped. Because every person who walked through your life left something behind, a lesson, a strength, a deeper understanding of yourself or of me that you could not have gained any other way. The pain of their leaving was the price of that gift, and you paid it. You are still paying it in some ways, but the gift remains. Think of a tree in winter. It looks dead. Its branches are bare. Its leaves have fallen and rotted on the ground. From the outside, it appears that something has gone terribly wrong. But beneath the soil, the roots are still alive. Beneath the bark, the sap is still flowing. And when spring comes, that tree will put out new leaves, stronger, greener, more vibrant than before. You are that tree. The people who left were the leaves that had to fall, not because they were bad leaves, not because they didn't serve their purpose, but because if they had stayed, the new growth could not come. The tree can only support so many leaves. It must shed the old to make room for the new. I am preparing new leaves for you. New connections, new relationships, new people who will not just take from you, but give to you. People who will see you and know you and still choose to stay. People who will walk with you, not ahead of you or behind you, but beside you. But those people cannot come until the old leaves have fully fallen, until you have stopped looking back at what was and started looking forward to what will be, until you have released the ghosts of relationships past and opened your heart to the possibility of relationships future. And this is where you may be stuck. You have let go of the people, but you have not let go of the pain. You have accepted that they are gone, but you have not accepted that their going was part of my plan. You have stopped reaching out to them, but you have not stopped replaying the memories, the regrets, the what-ifs and if-onlys. That is not release. That is just a different kind of holding on. I need you to truly let them go, not just from your life, but from your heart. I need you to give them to me, fully, finally, without reservation. I need you to trust that I am capable of caring for them better than you ever could. I need you to believe that their story is not over, even if your part in it is. Because as long as you hold on to them in your heart, you are blocking the space where new people are supposed to dwell. You are keeping the room crowded with ghosts, and the living have nowhere to sit. This is not easy. I know it is not easy. You loved them. Some of them you still love. And love does not simply turn off like a switch. Love lingers. Love remembers. Love aches. But love also releases. Love sets free. Love trusts that what is truly meant for you cannot be lost. And what is lost was never truly meant for you. I am not asking you to stop loving them. I am asking you to love them enough to let them go, to release them into my care and trust that I will do what is best for them, even if that never again includes you. And I am asking you to forgive them, not for their sake, for yours. Unforgiveness is a poison you drink, expecting the other person to die. It does not hurt them. It does not change them. It does not bring them back or make them sorry or give you the satisfaction you think you deserve. It only hurts you. It only keeps you chained to the past. It only blocks the flow of my healing through your heart. You have said you forgive them, but have you? Really? Have you released the anger? Have you surrendered the need for an apology you may never receive? Have you made peace with the fact that you may never understand why they did what they did? If not, do it now, in this moment, as you read these words. I will help you. I will give you the strength to say the words, even if you don't feel them yet. I will work in your heart to transform your bitterness into peace, your resentment into release, your grief into gratitude for what was good and acceptance of what was not. Say it, out loud or in your heart. Say, I forgive them, I release them, I give them to you, and mean it as much as you can. The rest will come with time, because you have a future that requires an unburdened heart. You have relationships coming that need space to grow. You have love waiting for you that cannot enter a heart still occupied by the ghosts of love lost. I am clearing the ground. I am preparing the soil. I am making room for what is next. But you must let go of what was. The leaves have fallen. Let them lie. Let them become compost that feeds the new growth. Let their memory serve the purpose of making you wiser, stronger, more capable of loving and being loved in return. Do not dig them up to see if they are still there. Do not rake them into piles and set them on fire. Do not mourn them as if the tree is dead. The tree is alive. The tree is preparing for spring. And spring is closer than you think. There is a question that has been circling in your mind, sometimes loud, sometimes barely a whisper, but always present. It is the question that haunts everyone who has walked through prolonged difficulty, unexpected loss, or unanswered prayer. Why me? You have asked it in moments of exhaustion. You have thrown it at me in moments of anger. You have whispered it in moments of despair, not really expecting an answer, but unable to stop the words from forming. Why did this happen to you? Why did you have to carry this particular weight? Why were you asked to walk this particular road while others seem to glide effortlessly down paths that look so much easier? I am going to answer that question now, not with the kind of answer that shuts down your pain, but with the kind that transforms it. You were chosen, not chosen for suffering as punishment, not chosen for hardship because I love you less, chosen because I saw something in you that could only be forged in the fire, chosen because the depth of your character required a depth of testing that others could not endure. Chosen because the assignment I have for your future demanded a foundation that could only be laid in the valley. You have looked at others and wondered why their lives seem easier. You have compared your struggles to theirs and felt abandoned, overlooked, singled out for hardship. But comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, your gratitude, your ability to see what I am doing in your own life, because you are so focused on what I am doing or not doing in someone else's. The truth is, you do not know their story. You do not know the battles they fight behind closed doors. You do not know the tears they shed when no one is watching. You do not know the weight they carry that they never speak about. And even if their path has been objectively easier than yours in some ways, that does not mean I love you less. It means I trust you with more. Think of it like this. A master craftsman does not give his most delicate, most valuable work to an apprentice. He keeps it for himself. He works on it with his own hands. He spends hours, days, years, refining it, perfecting it, bringing out the beauty that only he can see beneath the rough surface. The apprentice gets the simpler pieces, the ones that require less skill, less patience, less precision. But the masterpiece stays with the master. I have been working on you with a care that I do not give to everyone. Not because I play favorites, but because I have a specific purpose for your life that requires a specific kind of preparation. The vessel that will hold the most precious oil must be fired the longest in the kiln. The blade that will be used for the most delicate work must be hammered the most times on the anvil. The instrument that will play the most beautiful music must be carved with the most careful precision. I am not done with you yet, but I am closer than I have ever been. The fires you have walked through were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to burn away everything that is not truly you, everything that is not truly of me. The dross must be separated from the gold, and the only way to separate it is to apply heat. The impurities rise to the surface, where they can be skimmed away, leaving behind metal that is pure, valuable, and ready to be shaped into something beautiful. You have seen the impurities rise. You have watched your own weaknesses, fears, and failures surface under pressure. You have been embarrassed by what the heat revealed. You have wished you could hide it, bury it, pretend it wasn't there. But I have been skimming it away, removing it, freeing you from weights you didn't even know you were carrying. And the process has been painful because the impurities were deeply embedded. They had been there for so long that they felt like part of you. Letting them go felt like losing a piece of yourself. But what you are losing is not you. It is what was hiding you. It is what was covering the gold. It is what was keeping the real you from emerging. And the real you, the you I created before the world began, the you that exists in my heart, is beautiful, is valuable, is worthy of the price I paid. Do not let the fire convince you that you are being destroyed. You are being refined. Do not let the pressure convince you that you are being crushed. You are being compressed into something that cannot be broken. Do not let the waiting convince you that you have been forgotten. You have been hidden for a purpose, and the unveiling is closer than you think. There is something else you need to understand about the why me question. It is not just about the past, it is about the future. Because the answer to why you went through what you went through is not fully visible yet. It is still unfolding. It is still taking shape. And it will continue to take shape for the rest of your life. Every trial you have endured has prepared you for something. Every loss has positioned you to help someone else who will experience the same kind of loss. Every betrayal has given you discernment that will protect you in the future. Every disappointment has stripped away another layer of false hope, leaving you with hope that is rooted in me and cannot be shaken. You are being built into a shelter for others, a place where the wounded can come and find safety, a voice that can speak truth into chaos, a hand that can reach into the darkness and pull someone else into the light. But you cannot be that shelter if you are still standing in the rain, wondering why you got wet. You cannot be that voice if you are still shouting at the storm. You cannot be that hand if you are still reaching back to what was instead of forward to what will be. The why me must become for them. The suffering must become service. The pain must become purpose. The lessons must become gifts you give away. And that transformation is happening now. In this moment, as you sit here, reading these words, something is shifting in your understanding. You are beginning to see that your story is not just about you. It never was. It was always about the people I would bring across your path who would need to hear what you have learned, see what you have survived, and believe that if I could bring you through, I can bring them through too. You are going to be proof that I am real, proof that I restore, proof that nothing is wasted, proof that the valley leads to the mountain, proof that the night always ends in morning. But first, you must stop asking why it happened to you and start asking what it prepared you for. You must stop mourning what you lost and start looking for what you gained. You must stop comparing your path to others and start walking your path with your eyes fixed on me. I know it is hard. I know the questions don't disappear overnight. I know the pain still visits you at unexpected moments. But I am with you in every moment, the expected and the unexpected, the joyful and the sorrowful, the clear and the confusing. And I am turning your mourning into dancing. I am exchanging your ashes for beauty. I am restoring the years the locusts have eaten. Not someday, not eventually, now, bit by bit, day by day, truth by truth. The why me is becoming for this. The pain is becoming purpose. And you are becoming who I always created you to be. This is the moment you have been walking toward, not just through this message, but through your entire life. Every step, every stumble, every sunrise, every sleepless night, they have all been leading you here, to this moment, to this truth. And the truth is simple, even though the journey has been complex. You are not who you used to be. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with recognition. See the person you were when this journey began. See their fears, their doubts, their wounds, their walls. See how they reacted to pain, how they coped with disappointment, how they tried to control what could not be controlled. See how small their world was, how narrow their vision, how limited their understanding of who I am and who they were created to be. That person is still a part of you. Their memories are still in your mind. Their scars are still on your heart. But that person is no longer running your life. You have changed, not because you tried harder, not because you finally figured it all out, but because I have been changing you, slowly, gently, relentlessly, in ways you could not feel at the time, but that you can see clearly now, if you are honest about where you started and where you stand today. You are stronger. Not in the way the world defines strength, loud, aggressive, unfeeling, but in the way I define strength. You are softer where you used to be hard. You are quieter where you used to be frantic. You are more patient with yourself and with others. You are slower to assume the worst, quicker to hope for the best. You have learned things that cannot be taught, only experienced. You have gained wisdom that cannot be borrowed, only earned. And you did not earn it easily. You earned it in the fire. You earned it in the silence. You earned it in the moments when you wanted to give up, but kept going anyway. Not because you were brave, but because something deeper than bravery kept putting one foot in front of the other. That something was me. I have been carrying you when you could not walk. I have been holding you when you could not stand. I have been whispering to you in the dark when you could not hear, and singing over you in the silence when you could not feel. I have never left. I have never stopped. I have never given up on you. And now I am asking you to do something that may be the hardest thing I have ever asked. I am asking you to trust what I am about to do next. Not because you can see it, not because you understand it, not because it makes sense from where you are standing, but because I have earned the right to ask you to trust me. Look at your life. Really look at it, not through the lens of what went wrong, but through the lens of what I have brought you through. Every time you thought you would not make it, you made it. Every time you felt the pain would never end, it ended. Every time you thought you were alone, I showed up. Maybe not in the way you expected, but in ways you can now recognize as my hand, my provision, my protection. I have been faithful, even when you were not, even when you could not see it, even when you doubted. I have been faithful, and I will be faithful now. The road ahead is not completely visible to you. Parts of it are still shrouded in mist. Parts of it will require you to walk by faith and not by sight. Parts of it will test everything you have learned and everything you have become. But I will be with you. I will go before you. I will catch you when you stumble and carry you when you cannot go on. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You are walking into the unknown with the one who knows everything, the one who knows the end from the beginning, the one who has already prepared every good work for you to walk in, every blessing for you to receive, every challenge for you to overcome. And you are ready, not perfect, not finished, not without fear or doubt or questions, but ready. Because readiness is not about having all the answers. Readiness is about trusting the one who does. Readiness is about taking the next step, even when you cannot see the whole staircase. Readiness is about believing that the one who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. I am completing it, not all at once, not in a way that removes the need for faith, but steadily, surely, faithfully, day by day, step by step. You are becoming who I always saw when I looked at you. Before the world told you who you should be, before the wounds shaped you, before the losses defined you, I saw you, the real you, the you that is emerging now, like a butterfly from a cocoon, like a flower from the soil, like a dawn from the darkness. Do not be afraid of what is coming. Do not be afraid of what you do not yet understand. Do not be afraid of the doors that are opening or the ones that are closing. I am in all of it. I am working all of it for your good, not because you deserve it, but because I love you. Not because you earned it, but because I chose you. Not because you are strong enough, but because I am. And now I need to ask you something. Will you walk with me? Will you trust me? Will you let go of what was and reach for what will be? Will you stop looking back at the familiar pain and start looking forward to the unfamiliar peace? Will you believe that the best is still ahead, not because circumstances guarantee it, but because I am ahead, and where I am, there is always hope. You do not have to answer perfectly. You do not have to feel completely ready. You just have to take the next step, and then the next, and then the next, and trust that I am ordering your steps, guiding your path, leading you into the life you were always meant to live. You were meant to hear this, not by accident, not by chance, but because I wanted you to know the truth about your past, that it was not wasted, the truth about your present, that you are not alone, the truth about your future, that it is filled with hope. You are loved, you are seen, you are known. Now go. Walk forward. Do not be afraid. I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will never leave you. Not now, not ever. If this message touched your heart, if you felt something shift inside you as you read these words, I want to ask you to do something. Not for me, but for yourself and for others who need to hear this same truth. Take a moment right now to share this message. Not because I need views or likes or comments, but because somewhere right now there is someone else who is exactly where you were when you started reading this. Someone who needs to know they are not alone. Someone who needs to hear that their pain has purpose. Someone who needs to be reminded that they were meant to find this. Leave a comment if you feel led. Share what you experienced. Let your words be a light for someone else walking in darkness. And if this message resonated with you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications, because there is more coming. More truth, more healing, more of what your heart has been waiting to hear. You were meant to find this, and now you are meant to share it. Go in peace, go in hope, go in the knowledge that you are deeply, eternally loved. And remember, this was not a coincidence. This was always the plan.